What's going on YouTube? My name is NC Squared and welcome to the NPL, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. The Litchfield Park Larvitars Season 2, I think week 11, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, don't get me wrong about that, but I believe it's week 11. But we're going to get right into this battle. We're against our buddy NoiverNation, who probably did us the most dirty. He's probably the one who beat us like the most badly through the season, and now we get to play him again since he is in our division. So we get to wreak havoc against this team. Hopefully, I mean, you guys won't know to the end who wins, but let's get right into it. We're gonna hit the play button, and then he sends out his girder against my Absol, and I make a dumb play here. And the first turn I switch out instead of protect mega evolve. I should have gone for the protect. I was protecting and stuff like that, but it didn't obviously work out. But I should have protected. I should have gone for the straight kill with either Psycho Boost or Psycho. I was carrying a Sucker Punch, Knockoff, Protect, and Psycho Cut, mainly for the Girder and the Heracross, but it didn't work out. I was dumb enough to switch out and not Mega Evolve, so he goes for the I think the Knockoff. He knows the Knockoff. He knocks off my Rocky Helmet, puts him down to a little bit HP. I go for the Air Cutter, super effective, and it almost takes him out. He goes for Ice Punch, in which I should have gone for the Air Cutter here, but I go for the Heat Wave. If I would have got the burn on this Guard Chomp, that would have been great. I should have gone for Roost instead. That Roost is actually coming in like very bad for me. He goes on to his Guard Chomp. I go on to my Granbull, get the Intimidate drop. He goes on to his Empoleon. If I would have Play Roughed here, I think I would have done a lot of damage to this Empoleon, but obviously, I wanted to make the play to see if he would go for another Iron Head since my Granbull was out, but he instead goes for Triton and puts Triton down to about 75 with no available recovery. So that goes well for me, but obviously we're gonna be able to see who gets the last laugh after this. I switch out and I go into Conkeldurr. He goes for Steel Wing. He switches out. He goes to Ray Lewis. If I go for the knockoff here, it does very big damage to him, and I knock off his Choice Scarf. So, sorry, hold on, just a second. Sorry about that. Had to sneeze there real quick. So we're now, he sends out his Pinky No Brain. But on this Conkeldurr, I'm carrying Drain Punch, Knockoff, Mach Punch, and Fire Punch. I've carried the Fire Punch just in case if you wanted to bring a Moongus or even the Tornadus. I thought Ice Punch would have been better, but being able to chance to burn anything with Fire Punch is also a very big advantage for me. So I decided to go with Fire Punch, and it works out for the better because I go for Drain Punch turn 1 against this switched in Heracross. So he goes for the Substitute here to try and predict my switch out, but I go for Fire Punch and I take down his Substitute with a crit. But now I switch out and I go into Granbull to get this Intimidate drop off, and he goes for Close Combat, which puts down his defenses and his special defense. What I should have done here was switch out, but I decided Play Rough would have instantly killed, and he barely kills me with being able to hit with one more Rock Blast at 15%. So it's not too bad, but I was able to switch into Absol here. Luckily, he decides to stay in and goes for Pin Missile each time, so I was able to get the free Protect off. And now I outspeed, so I go for the Psycho Cut and I kill this Heracross. So one big threat in this team is down, and that's very big. That Heracross actually puts in work to my team. So being able to get that that Rock Blast, Pin Missile, whatever Heracross out of the way is a very big deal to me. So now we have Absol against this Christina, and now the scary part happens right here. I go for the knockoff, thinking this would kill, but he has Weakness Policy. And if you guys don't know what Weakness Policy is, it gets you +2 to all your special attack and your attack. So very scared here. He's at +2 in everything. He decides to go for Drain Punch. He kills me, kills Mega Absol, and he's now back at half health. So I go into Zapdos, and I literally just should have just T-Waved here, but I go for Roost instead, thinking he would have done something, but he goes for Stone Edge and kills me. But now I'm now down 3-5. This is actually looking very bad on my part, but I go into my Milotic here to go for the Haze, I believe. I go for the DRAGONTAIL. I forgot. I'm not carrying Haze, I'm carrying DRAGONTAIL. And what my moveset on this Milotic was DRAGONTAIL, Scald, Ice Beam, and Recover. but I wasn't very physical. My low deck, I was more specially defensive, and seeing in this aspect, I should have gone physically defensive, but my Granbull was actually physically defensive, and that being that like KO'd was able to put me in a bad spot. So my low deck actually still does very much work, if you'll see in the end. I get my leftovers back, and I go for Scald, and because Scald actually killed here, so my low deck pick is his first kill of the match, and he goes on to Ray Lewis. He goes for Outrage. If I would have gone for Ice Beam here, I would have instantly killed this thing, but I decided to go for the Recover Stall to stall out this Outrage, and I go for another Recovery. He gets confused. He doesn't get the turn 3 Outrage, and all I have to do here is go for either a Scald, or I can go for a Ice Beam. And I wanted to see if he wanted to switch into a Swellow, but I didn't think he would switch into it. I went for Scald, just in case if I can get the burn on anything. Actually, no, I go for Ice Beam here to see if I can get the freeze if he wants to stay in with that Garchomp. So I switch out now. He goes into Conkeldurr. He goes for Swords Dance, which actually puts me in a bad position. He goes for Drill Peck. I didn't think he was going to go for Drill Peck. Usually, a Napoleon has Defog. It has, I don't know, Scald, Ice Beam, and Defog. I don't know what other move it had besides Drill Peck. Drill Peck was not a move that I was expecting. I thought I was going to body this thing, but of course, Conkeldurr goes down without a kill, which is very unfortunate, but he goes for the Drill Peck. I go for Dragon Tail to switch it out, and let me tell you, this Mew loves to be pulled out. He goes into Baton Pass, and he goes into a Swellow. I go for the Recover. I didn't want to take any chances to getting hit. I was good to switch out to Cradilly. He goes for the Facade, and he gets the burn, the Flame Orb. So now, not only that he is Guts Boost, this Swellow also has a very high attack. So I am now left with Cradilly, and I'm also now left with my Lodic. So this is 2-4. This is a 2-4 match. So I send out Cradilly against this Swellow for only neutral damage because I've made Cradilly an offensive Pokemon, or not an offensive Pokemon, a physical attacking defensive Pokemon. So the moveset on this Cradilly is Stealth Rocks, Synthesis, Stone Edge, Earthquake. The Stone Edge was actually for the Tornadus because I actually kind of bodied the Tornadus with it. And I was 1 degree in grass type, so the Amogus couldn't freely spore me as well. So he switches down and he goes to his Triton. I go for the Stealth Rocks, but let me tell you, these Stealth Rocks come in clutch. These are the finest Stealth Rocks available. I knew that if I got my Stealth Rocks up, it would be very good to him. I didn't think I wanted to see this thing defog, but it didn't look like it was going to defog anytime soon. He goes for the Swords Dance. I go for the EQ. He has his Shucka Berry, which I don't know why he carried a Shucka Berry. I thought he would have carried a Fighting Berry instead because of Conkeldurr. But as you can see, he goes for the Shucka Berry. It doesn't do much damage, but seeing that it didn't do that much because of the half damage, it still means Cradilly would have done a lot of damage without using Earthquake. Or I guess I don't know what I'm saying. I guess it would have done a lot of damage without the berry. So I get my leftovers back. He goes for the Steel Wing. It kills me. And now it is 4v1 my Lodic. Here is where the battle gets intense, ladies and gentlemen. So he goes for the Drill Peck. I go for the Dragon Tail. He switches out and it puts out Mew. And let me tell you, this is, I think, the 3rd time Mew has come out on a Dragon Tail. I get my leftovers back. He wants to go for Drain Punch. I go for the Scald here, or I go for the Ice Beam to put him down to a lot of damage. And I go for, he goes for another Drain Punch. I go for the Recover, and this thing is literally just going to get Drain Punching me. So I literally had to go for Scald, my stab move. But he goes out into his Baton Pass, and he goes on to his Triton. Now I go for the Scald here. He gets damage, and I get the burn. So this Triton is, this Empoleon is literally just death. So I go for another Scald here, and my Lodic picks up his 2nd kill of the match. He goes down to his Urza. Now this, let me tell you, the pro plays happen here, ladies and gentlemen. He goes for the Facade, and it does a lot of damage to me, so I go for Cover. And I literally have to stall this thing out with Recover. So he goes for another Facade, it kills me. Honestly, I don't know how it didn't get the hack. He didn't get Hack's Crit. If he would have got the Hack's Crit, it would have killed me instantly. And he goes for the Roost, but I thought he was just gonna hit me again. And he goes for the Roost, and I'm like, no, I can't let that happen. I can't do this. So I had to find the perfect time to instead go for Scald instead of Recover, because I think I was running out of Recover soon. So I go for the Recover. He goes for the burn. He's at 67. He goes for the Sod. I go for the Recover again. It actually did a high roll on that one, so I put me down a lot more lower health. And now he's at 55%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's where the pro plays come out. Instead of going for Recover, he goes for Roost. I go for Scald here. It brings him down to quite a bit of health. And I think he's at this point, he's like, I just got to attack him at this point. There's no way. I go for the Dragontail on this play. Ladies and gentlemen, if I get hit by this, if he hits the Dragontail and he switches to Garchomp instead of this Christina Mew, which came out for maybe the 4th time this match, Mew just loves the spotlight, ladies and gentlemen. Loves the spotlight. For the 4th time, he comes out. And if he would have switched into Garchomp, I would have lost this match. But due to the fact that he switched into Mew, I won this game. I have won this game. He goes and he gets the rocks, of course. And what happens here is that I go for the Recover. And I want to get as much health back as possible because I'm not trying to take a hit from this Garchomp if he switches out into it. So he goes for the Drain Punch. I go for the Scald. It puts him down to 3. But what happens here is he gets the burn. Now that's not what I wanted to happen. That's not exactly what I wanted to plan out, but obviously it kills. My Mew goes down. My Milotic picks up his 3rd kill of the match. And we are going on, but due to the fact that it's synchronized, I am now burned. And now it goes from 72% to 59%. And I was very scared that this Garchomp was going to lay into me like one mother trucker. But the max outrage could do was 50%. So if I would have got, if he would have hit the Dragon Rage and I wouldn't have, if he would have hit Dragon Rage and I wouldn't have recovered here, I would have lost due to the burn. But I had to go for Recover here. Recover was my only option. And he goes for Outrage again, and I go for the Ice Beam and I kill the Ray Lewis. Very scared here still. He goes out into a Swellow. Swellow dies. And that's the game, and that's how we pick up our 2nd win of the year, ladies and gentlemen. 2nd win of the year, that's crazy. Although we've had a lot of close games in the past, this is probably one of the closer games I've ever had. We won 1-0, and that was a very, very close match. I was talking to him later. Noivern, very good player. His link will be in the description below as well. He's a very good guy. He's a pretty cool guy. He was like, oh, I'm a little salty, but hacks were very involved here. Yes, hacks were very involved. I will not lie. Getting that burn on the Empoleon was a very big deal. It not being able to recover at all was also a big deal. And he told me, like, once his Heracross went down, he had no answer for anything on my team and anything. So being able to get rid of that Heracross early game was very clutch for me. But shout out to, you know, my Lodic for getting 4 kills this match. My Lodic got 4 kills, and the Rocks killed the Swellow, so the Swellow dies to Rocks. And I believe the only one other kill that got the kill was Mega Absol, picking up its 1st kill of the season. And like you're thinking like, what? Mega Absol gets the 1st kill of the season? Like, yeah, I'm pretty butt cheeks with that. So, but I got 4 kills with my Lodic. My Lodic gets like I think 13 kills now. So it's unfortunate Unconkelder didn't get a kill, but I wish he would have gotten a kill to get to 15 or at least 16. But you know, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with the win. But thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all the support you guys give on this channel. Please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for me today. And above all else, you know, if you guys like this battle, just comment down below and just say, hey, that was a good battle, man. That was great. But thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.